I've mentioned before a bit about the damage that you'll see on some tap handles, and whenever I get a new example, whenever I'm picking up a lot from another collector, and there's one that is an example of some of the items that I've seen, I do like to point this out. And just a note, with tap handles of certain condition, I won't sell them. I won't resell them. I may keep them around my collection, but I won't pass them on to other collectors. And that's because at a certain quality, I just don't think that it's right to do that. So they'll kind of, if they get into my collection, that is the last stop. They won't go any further. There's other ones where they'll have minor wear, and that's totally fine. But this is an example of one that at this point, it's out of circulation. I'm not going to resell it. It is a kind of cool example of a Busch tap handle. It does say Bavarian beer, but I do want to point out the wear or damage on this tap handle. So from the front, you don't necessarily see anything. You may see a little bit on the edges, but it's hard to tell what that is. And if we flip this over on the side, you'll see it right here. So you'll see that it's got a lot of cracking there. Also here on the edge and at the top, it's got a lot of cracking there. With any of the lucite or resin tap handles, they're going to be okay if you get a couple of small chips or marks or anything like that on them. But this typically is going to tell me that it's come under severe pressure. So that normally means that it's had like heavy items on top of it, either that or something that came into it with a lot of impact. So maybe it was dropped, maybe somebody was moving it around, and you'll see that you see that again on this side right here. And like I mentioned, these are normally related to pressure or heavy objects as opposed to something related to heat. You will see other deformations and stuff like that on tap handles if it is heat related. But anytime that you get to that level, then it's the type of thing that it isn't easily repairable. It's really not going to get any better. There's a chance it may get worse. And so at this point, it's the type of thing that you wouldn't really want to pass it on to another collector. You do still have the full logo here that's visible and the full logo here. But like I mentioned, it's just a little bit too bad for the wear. And actually, if we look at it up closely here, this was the other thing that I had seen initially, is you'll see that the crack on the side, you've got this batch here and it splinters and it kind of spiders in along here as well. So overall, I've seen taps that are in rougher shape, but this is definitely on the bad side of wear and tear.